Alright, so I've read some books today, and I wanted to go ahead and go through them real quick. I always find that the books that I read first are, of course, my favorite. And so I thought since I read like 5 books, I would go ahead and go through what my top 5 the first 5 I picked up were, which are pretty much at least 3 of my pretty much favorite books, 4 of my favorite books, I guess. I read The Woods, um, issue 6. This book was just good. I know I've said in the past that I don't really like backstory on these characters. I really like the backstory in this issue. Um, it showed us that our bully character that's out running around the woods is a little deeper than just being this bully that they portray him as. And showed me a little bit of his motivation, things behind him. Talked a little bit about Hannibal, and I love Hannibal. Greatest military strategist ever. Where there's a will, there's a way, pretty much, with Hannibal. I believe that there's even a phrase in Latin that says like Hannibal at the gates or something. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But, that just goes to show you what a brilliant man he was. When Hannibal's at the gates is meant to scare school children. This was it was really good. Further developing the story, even though it was really heavy on backstory, it didn't really put me off. Second, I read Dream Thief Escape, 404 on this series. Closed it down. Everybody rode off into the sunset. Without anybody reading this series, it's really hard for me to explain why I thought this issue was so good. The way that it wrapped up the first series, the regular Dream Thief, was great. This wrapped up a lot like Dream Thief did, with somebody else coming to know that he is I guess, dream killer. I don't know exactly what he is. I do know exactly what he is, but it wrapped it up. At the end of the first series, he let his best friend into the fact that he was going around killing people, and in this miniseries, his best friend helped him. At the end of this, he let his sister in on the fact that he was a dream killer, kind of. And so when they bring out the next series, he'll have a cop on his side, a lawyer on his side. This is just building. Every series of that Dream Thief is building towards making a better series. And at some point, I really hope that's an ongoing series. Third, I read Nailbiter. Not because it was the worst, just because I wanted to end my Dream Thief. And I needed the next chapter of The Woods. It sucks that Dream Thief and The Woods come out the same week. I didn't realize that until I started picking up my comics weekly this week. But this issue was awesome. I can't talk enough about Nailbiter. I wish it was a book series even, because I just can't get enough of it. But, the art in this is just brilliant. The story in it is awesome. One of my favorite books ever is the Silence Lamb series. And this is probably better, no offense Thomas Harris, this is probably better than Silence of the Lambs. But, everything about this issue I just absolutely freaking enjoyed, as I do every issue that they do. I like that behind the pages here, when I was going through, that I flipped by, and surprise, I've got more story. It was so nice to have like another 5 pages when I thought this book was over. It was so nice to have like another 5 pages. It's kind of like you say, when you wish a book could be longer. They delivered on making it longer for me. I read Injustice, the annual. Um, Anybody that's not picking this up likes DC, likes classic pre-52 characters, should be reading this. If you're not, then um, I just I don't get it. This series is so good. This is the first issue, though. You see all these names that I couldn't really get behind the art. Some of it was good, but I don't know which artist it did because they don't necessarily credit who the artist. Oh, yes, they do, right here. Um, Jeremy Rophock. I don't know that name, but it's probably because his art sucks. Um, the way that he drew these people, it just looks like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even care about this big freaking 2-page spread he did back here. It's just, it's horrible. And the art before that, you have these mongoloid looking super heroines, you know, Black Canary and, I mean, Harley and everybody. I mean, they just, not to hurt anybody's feelings, but they just kind of look like they have Down syndrome. And, I mean, I wish look at how poorly drawn that Black Canary is there. It's, I don't know. The art in that was horrible. The story was pretty good. There was one of the stories, it was written by 3 different people, 3 different short stories in that, and the third story, really the art and the story both were kind of poor. Last thing I read was Gotham Academy. This book was excellent. This cover didn't let me down. I knew I was going to like the Becky Cloonan story, but the art inside this was exactly like the cover. It's got kind of a normal American art, yet kind of a Japanime, angular faces type of thing going on that I really, really enjoyed. This was, I was hoping it didn't let me down, and it really didn't. I really enjoyed that first issue of Gotham Academy, and I can't wait to read more of it. But, you know, those are my, 5 books that I read, and to start out, just to show you kind of what my favorite stuff was that came out this week. Got my Deadpool hoodie finally. Thank you, Diamond, for me ordering it last June and not getting it until this April. So I avoided all cold weather with my sweet-ass frickin' toboggan. But now that it's cooling down again, I'm going to really enjoy wearing it. Man, this thing is snug and warm. And anyway, I guess I'll get back to reading some comics.